And welcome into another edition of Tobs Talk. I am Riley Corcoran. The Wilson Tobs, a dramatic win last night, coming back in the top of the ninth inning. All the chips were stacked against them. They were down 3-0, scored 5 runs in the ninth inning, propelling themselves to a win. Sean Godfrey with a grand slam with 1 out to put the Tobs out in front for the first time all game. Then John Fitzsimmons came in the bottom of the ninth to close the door. Tobs win 5-3, win their 3rd game in a row in CPL play. Try and move that forward today as they will host the Fayetteville Swamp Dogs in a unique doubleheader. They will pick things up in the top of the 4th inning in game number 1, a suspended game from Friday night, and then after the first game is over, a 7-inning contest we played after that. After the 2 games are complete, the first half will be in the books. And Wilson 14-10 right now, a way better record than they had last season, but trying and improving on that. If they do beat Fayetteville twice today, they will take 2nd place in the East Division first half CPL standings. Second half will start tomorrow as the Tobs will take on Wilmington on the road, and then Tuesday they will be back home against Fayetteville. So things will start picking up very, very quickly here at historic Fleming Stadium as first half of the season, believe it or not, almost over after today. 4 o'clock will be the first pitch, so be a unique start time, at least for the Wilson Tobs, and we'll see a variety of different pitchers on the mound. Matt Bourne should get some time, Christian Slaznik as well, and the bullpen, who has been outstanding this season, will also see plenty of work throughout this doubleheader. We have a great episode of Tobs Talk coming up for you. Coach Austin Love will discuss that wild game last night. The Tobs came back and scored 5 in the 9th inning. John Fitzsimmons, standout closer, will join me later on in the show, and Matt Micah will get you ready for this doubleheader tonight against Fayetteville. That's all coming up next. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran and Austin Love back here with you. The Tobs officially now on a winning streak, winning last night in a game that, again, featured a lot of different aspects to it. It was slow moving to start. It was a good pitcher's duel. Then there were some umpiring quirks, I guess we could say, back and forth. We had a rain delay, a little bit of everything, but at the end of the day, Sean Godfrey hit a grand slam in the 9th inning, and John Fitzsimmons closed the door for his 4th save. And the Tobs have officially won 3 games in a row in Coastal Plain League action. But, Coach, there's so many ways we can start about this. Let's just go with the 9th inning and 5 runs there and how impressive it was.
You know, earlier in the year, you asked me what was the craziest game.
Yeah.
This one is the new one. The 9th inning, you know, from my view of the game, was pretty exciting. We got a couple runners on. You know, I think it started with Matt Rimbalak, who's been having great at-bats here lately. Even though he hasn't racked up a ton of hits, he's been getting walks, he's been battling, putting the ball in play. And then Bradley Morton finally kind of broke out of his 0-for slump and got a hit. And then Nick Rigner came in to pitch hit, and, you know, easy night for him. He pretty much watched 4 balls. And then Ridge, you know, down 3-0, bases loaded with Ridge up. I'm very confident, and I think the other team kind of knew it, so he drew a walk. And then Sean, at that point, you know, again, just from my view of the game, I knew, you know, I was saying to myself, we need to get, you know, Josh Johnson up and John Fitzsimmons up, because we're either going to tie this game or win this game. And Sean just, the one thing that I didn't think of was a grand slam. Excuse me. And I was hoping for a double in the gap, and he put it over the wall, and just very, very exciting to watch. And
Sean Godfrey's 2nd home run with the Tobs. Again, they score 5 runs in the 9th inning to close the door. But let's go back a little bit to the pitcher's duel before. John Valk III was great. He threw 6 innings. Had to come back from a rain delay. Again, that was a little bit weird. It was a 31-minute rain delay, but we were sitting in the dugout, and it seemed like they didn't really want to play or get the game going again. And you have to give John Valk III credit. He came back out after a rain delay. That's tough to do.
Yeah, it is tough to do. And, you know, again, he has pitched so well for us. You know, the rain delay, it was a bit shocking, you know, with the situation with the tarp at first, and speaking with the city there, who does a great job, you know, keeping their field. But they got it ready to play again, and the weather held off, and John went out there and did what he does with his changeup and his fastball mixing in stuff, and pretty much, you know, shut them down like he's done in every start he's had here lately. So, you know, it's disappointing he didn't get the win, but I know he knows he's a part of that win as well.
And again, 3-1 record for John right now. His ERA now under 4 against. So really only 1 bad start besides that. Like you said, he's been brilliant. A couple guys made their debuts, Joyner as well as Fry out of the bullpen, and Fry actually picks up a win last night in his first appearance. So again, it featured a little bit of everything. What did you think about their performances out of the bullpen?
Tyler Joyner was pretty solid. I mean, he was on the short end, you know, of a couple calls, you know, we felt like, you know, but he threw the ball very well. He's coming off an injury. Ball came out of his hand very, very well. Showed some secondary stuff and competed, I think, for a first time out. It was pretty good. And Dylan, Coming out of NC State, coming off a World Series, he might have a little bit of jet lag. And he played a small role for them, even though he has a very, very good arm. And he's going to be a big guy for us this summer. And just trying to get his feet wet. And he went out there and, didn't pitch poorly, but didn't pitch great, and picks up a win. So I'm sure he's happy.
And again, Joyner, a returning Tob. He pitched 11 innings last year for Wilson. Fry again gets the win, and it's where the bullpen actually gave up a few runs. Again, some unfortunate calls back and forth for that to happen. But 3-0, all of a sudden, you think the chips are against him. Again, Godfrey hits the home run. I mean, is this something that can really propel a team to change the tide a little bit? We talked about getting on a winning streak. The second half starts officially tomorrow after this doubleheader against Fayetteville today. But a win like this, kind of a season changer. I know you don't want to read too much into it, but I mean, to have a team-building win like this.
Yeah, it's kind of how we started off the year, playing a bunch of those close games, being down late, and kind of making a comeback. Again, we're just trying to sustain our game. And the thing about Sean's day yesterday is he hit pretty much laser after laser for outs up until his last at bat. I mean, he hit 2 balls extremely hard right at middle infielders his first 2 at bats, and apparently he's seeing it pretty well. And I think as we settle into our core lineup, with a few guys that are going to be in there every day, and they really, really get into a rhythm and start to, feed off each other, we're going to be pretty good.
And looking forward to that. Again, that doubleheader today against Fayetteville. It's a unique situation with how it works because we got back pretty late last night, and the quick turnaround, they'll pick up the first game in the 4th inning, and then a 7-inning contest afterwards. From the pitching side of things and trying to get guys ready to go in different situations, how do you prepare for something like that today?
I think it's a great situation because we can pretty much treat it like a 6-inning ball game. With it being 0-0 going into the top of the fourth, we can treat it, just like a shortened game, and so it won't really affect our starter there, whoever we bring in there. But the second game, is pretty much going to be the same thing. So, it'll shorten our bullpens up a little bit. We can play a little more matchup, but we have to think about the week ahead too as far as using guys.
And again, at Wilmington tomorrow to start the second half. But from a mental side of things, again, Wilson 14-10. Pretty good record for the first half, all things considered. To get a sweep today, and I know you might give me that we'll take one game at a time today, but if for some reason Wilson was able to get the sweep and actually take second place over Fayetteville, because that's what it would turn out to be, how important would that be moving forward to the second half?
I think it's huge. At least getting to 15 wins will be big in the first half, because it puts us that much closer to what our record was last year as far as, just getting better year to year wise. And just our goal of trying to win 30 games for the season, which we feel like will put us in the playoffs.
And again, the pitching has been outstanding. The hitting starting to come around a little bit after that game against Morehead City. The 5-run outburst in the 9th inning last night. We'll talk with closer John Fitzsimmons coming up next. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran back here with closer John Fitzsimmons, who is keeping up his torrid pace with the Tobs, already with 8 innings pitched, allowing just 1 run, 4 saves, and a win to your credit. And John, coming in here about midway through the season, you waited till after the draft was over to come in and contribute right away. Speaks volumes, I guess, about your preparation and whatnot. But how's it been the last couple of weeks for you getting settled into Wilson?
I'm really enjoying it here, and I'm just trying to continue what I did at school.
And something with what you've done very well the last 2 years at Canisius, being one of the nation's leaders in saves, double digits the last couple of years, as well as an ERA in the ones. And the numbers are mirror image of what you've done here in Wilson. But take me through the last couple of years for you. It's been pretty great at Canisius. I mean, last year in general, where you were able to pitch in the NCAA tournament at Chapel Hill, again, a 1.1 earned run average, pretty impressive. What was so special about this year?
This year we had a great team. We had a great group of guys, and when one of us wasn't performing, another guy would pick us up. So our coach was great with us. He helped us through the process. It was our first win in program history, conference win, sorry. And I think we finally pulled it together. And
Jimmy Lupin's, again, the other Canisius teammate with John Fitzsimmons that has come to Wilson this summer. And last year as well, was kind of when you burst out on the scene. I mean, your sophomore year where you were up there, you were the MAC Relief Pitcher of the Year, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, for people that might not be familiar with it down here in North Carolina. But that was really when you burst onto the scene. And you tell me that you have to earn your closer's role every year. And that surprises me because of what you did your sophomore season. What does that play into your mindset getting ready for a year here, hey, nothing's given to me, I have to earn it.
Yeah, that's definitely the mindset. And we've, like I said, the guys on our team are so good that they're pushing for my spot every year. So it gives me some motivation to compete.
And again, coming into Wilson, you probably didn't think you were going to be the closer maybe right away, or that it was given to you. A lot of these guys have been anxious for you to come in here. I know I was one included, looking at your stats. I can't wait to watch this guy pitch. But coming in here and assuming the closer's role right away, were you surprised about that, or were you just, I guess, fortunate for the opportunity?
Definitely fortunate, but I was surprised a little bit as well. I thought I was definitely going to have to earn it, show that I can actually compete in the 9th inning here. So.
And again, you've done that very well. 1 win, 4 saves already, just allowing 1 run and making it interesting. I say I thank you every time after you pitch the 9th inning, because it's not a 1, 2, 3 inning usually. There's usually a runner on base. I know that game, High Point Thomasville, where you came in the middle, all of a sudden the bases were loaded. You had to strike out the side to do it. Do you relish on opportunities like that? I know you've told me multiple times, well, I'm not trying to go for the strikeout all the time. It just happens to be like that. But when your, I guess, heart's really pumping up, bases loaded, nobody out, in a situation like that, cool is it to be the closer and shut the door like that?
Like I said, it would be nice for it to be a little easier, but I just take the saves any way they come and just try and secure the win for the team, really.
And something that the bullpen loves to do, be able to lock down those last couple of outs. But you had to deal with some adversity before you became at Canisius with surgery to try and overcome that. I know that was kind of a setback for you. No high school baseball up in Canada. It was all club teams. And you thought that you were pretty good to be at the D1 level, or at least people were telling you that, and all of a sudden you have this huge setback with surgery. What was that like to try and come back and be at that level you were before?
Well, when I found out, it was pretty heartbreaking to know that I wasn't going to be able to play baseball for at least a while, but everyone was telling me I was going to come back from it, so it's good to hear. I have a lot of help that way, and I guess, yeah, I'm pretty grateful that I was able to come back from that and go to Canisius. And
a little bit more than just that with the numbers that you've put up. And with the bullpen this year, you guys have meshed pretty well together. A lot of guys that, down in the bullpen, you guys kind of do your own thing, it seems like, with the mindset you have. But it's just so laid back, but at the same time, you guys are so impressive with the roles that everybody takes. What's that been? Is it, I guess, kind of like what you had at Canisius with how tight this team is? I know I talk about it with just about everybody, but it is truly special, especially with the bullpen guys, with how well you guys have performed.
Yeah, I think we mesh pretty well, and that always helps on the field because you want to win for your teammates, and I think that's important.
And the Tobs now have won 3 games in a row, and Matt, Mike, and I will break down this doubleheader coming up next. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Riley Corcoran and Matt Micah back here with you. The Wilson Tobs officially now on a winning streak, although they haven't played that many games this week because of a couple rainouts, Matt. They have won 3 CPL games in a row. The offense is starting to come around. The pitching has stayed solid. Let's go into last night's game. It's a wild one, as you've heard, I guess, from Coach Austin Love and John Fitzsimmons now. But team down 3-0. They scored 5 in the 9th inning. All of a sudden, they're down to their final 2 outs, and they just have this rally for the ages. Coming back, really winning it for the coaching staff that were displaced from the game, let's say. And Sean Godfrey with the home run. What does a win like that do for a team? I know we got coach's perspective on it, but being a former player and getting that side of things, it can be a game changer for sure.
Oh, it boosts the confidence so much. All of a sudden, next thing you know, you're shaking hands with your teammates after winning a ball game. That's why baseball's so great. It can't be scripted. Anything can happen at any moment. That's why the Tobs are they're still pushing, they're still fighting. They could be down, but they're never out of it.
And especially too, I think it's impressive. It goes without saying, but after Edenton had clinched the first half crown, the Tobs, it didn't affect them very much. They said, well, the first half's out of reach. That has been the exact opposite, I think, approach that they've went. Winning 3 in a row, 14-10 with a sweep today against Fayetteville. They could actually take second place in the first half standing. So that's something to play for today, as there will be a completed game first off before a 7-inning contest. But John Balk III, I know we talk about the starters maybe getting lost in the mix when the game's won, when the bullpen's in there, but he was so great last night. I mean, he went 6 innings. He came back from a rain delay, and to me, that speaks volumes. I mean, he did not walk a batter throughout the whole game either, did not allow a run. Just another impressive start for John. But let's talk about coming back from a rain delay, because that is tough to do. 31 minutes, he's just sitting there. He's ready to go. Him and I are looking at the radar. He's thinking, how much longer do we have to go? How long do we have to wait? Because I'm cruising right now.
Yeah, it's very impressive on his part to still be mentally in the ballgame. As a former pitcher, that's so tough. You're sitting there, you can't do anything. You feel so helpless. All you have to do is, sit, look at the radar, like you said, and talk to talk to your catcher, talk to your coach, figure out some stuff, be mentally still in the ball game so when, the tarp does come off, you're ready to go.
And John Valk III is so fun to watch because he knows how to pitch a game. The art of pitching, John Valk III could write a page, at least in the book, for that. Then also fielding his position well. There were 2 outs with 2 runners on in scoring position last night. A bunt was laid down the third baseline. He picked it up, threw to first to save the inning, save himself per se, but he was so great. The bullpen, again, we saw some new faces in Joyner and Fry get the job done. Fry ended up getting the win last night, but we just talked with John Fitzsimmons, and he has been so great, and he's very modest about it, but there's 2 years at Canisius, the last 2 years, he's had an ERA close to 1, and he's had double-digit saves. All of a sudden for the Tobs, the numbers are right there. Already 4 saves, 1 win. His ERA is about 1.1 right now. What do you think he brings to the back end of this bullpen? I know we've been excited for him to come for a long time. He's living up to the billing.
He's lights out. As a team for the Tobs, they love him in the bullpen coming in, and he's just lights out. As a team, when you have a guy like that and have all the confidence in the world in him to shut the game out, it's awesome.
And again, winning 5-3 last night with 5 runs in the 9th inning. Sean Godfrey, nice to see him get the game-winning hit because he started off so hot. Kind of went into a little bit of a cold spell, but throughout the course of this season, I think everyone's going to have that. But last night, I know he only got 1 hit being the grand slam, but he hit balls hard all over the place, and Sean just plays the game the right way and getting back. Nice to see someone like that get the game-winning hit for the win.
Yeah, that's just baseball. He's been struggling a little bit, but he's hitting the ball hard, and all you can do is keep hitting the ball hard and hustle the bases.
And we'll see if the Tobs can win 2 today against Fayetteville. A unique situation, Matt. They're going to pick up that first game in the top of the 4th inning. A suspended game trying to complete it. I know we're going to have to deal with rain off and on. It could be a frustrating day for some that will be at the game as well as the players. But how do you approach this kind of mindset? Just another curveball thrown in there for the Tobs and trying to get it done. How do you approach something that starts in the 4th inning? I know it's 0-0, but to start in the 4th inning, just a bit unique.
Yeah, it is unique, like you said. It's just one of those games. You just, 0-0, just like you said. All you have to do is pick up right where you were and still have that confidence from last night into today.
And maybe can change the tide against Fayetteville. Something different has to happen. Maybe this is the reason. We talked about the Swamp Dogs in our last episode with how they have dominated the Tobs. The first 4 games of the season have all went to Fayetteville, but this will be meetings 5 and 6 today out of 12 between these two. But to get over the hurdle, maybe something different like today. Is that something the Tobs can maybe spin it in their direction?
Yeah, today's, I feel like, the day where they get that monkey off their backs, play the Fayetteville, because they play Fayetteville really tough. It's just they shoot themselves in the foot with errors, bloop singles, stuff like that leads to losses for them. So I feel today would be the day.
And lost in just every way possible, it seems like, so far. But see if the Tobs can get it done today, and we'll wrap up the show next. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight. Another episode of Tobs Talk in the books. Wilson will try and beat Fayetteville twice today. A unique situation at the ballpark where the Tobs will complete a suspended game in the top of the 4th inning first. Then about 20 minutes after the first game is over, a 7-inning contest will be played, and the first half will be in the books for Wilson. 14-10 coming into today, trying to continue on with the winning streak. 3 in a row now. They have not lost since Saturday in CPL play, and trying to keep that going. And on the mound tonight, Matt Bournes will get some time. Christian Slasnick will get some time, but as of right now, we're just not sure because of the situation and who is going to throw for Wilson. We'll see if they can keep it going. The bullpen has been strong. That should favor Wilson as we move forward. Fayetteville has won the first 4 contests of the season between these two, but I think today at home, with all the elements considered, with Wilson on a winning streak, maybe that can end as they will play 2 games today, and the first half of the season will be in the books. Make sure to follow us on our social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram throughout the day. We know we're going to be dealing with some rain. We'll keep you up to date on those social media outlets and try and keep you posted on maybe when we do have rain delays and whatnot, when we'll get started yet again. On Tuesday will be our next home game, and then Thursday, of course, is fireworks night, 4th of July at the ballpark. Make sure to call our front office, 291-8627, for your ticket details. I know they're starting to go fast. It's the hot ticket in Wilson, especially on July 4th, so we hope to see you out at the ballpark, and we hope to see you on Tobs Talk on Tuesday. This is Tobs Talk on Greenlight.